Okay, this is a special pre-recorded interview. I got a phone call just over the weekend, and they said, "Special, we gotta hook you up with this one. It's one of them big ones. We know you like to do it big on the Universal show." So I said, "You know what? We don't very often do pre-records, but this one we have to do it today." We have the man in town, Eric Benet, definitely one of the royalties of soulful R&B. And we managed to cut of him this afternoon. How you doing, sir? Good
Man, I'm
afternoon.
doing good, man. It's always good to be back.
Good to be back.
Yes, sir.
So, welcome to the UK.
Thank you, sir.
So, you're over here doing a series of shows, doing some promoting with the album.
Yeah, man.
What you been up to, Eric? Man, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've been over here. One of the things about being on an artist on a major record label is you kind of, you know, it's pretty much up to the people in charge on where they decide to promote the albums. And so, my last two didn't really get much push over here. So it's another great benefit of me now having my own label. It's called Jordan House Records.
Okay.
And this album that will be released here in September is a my own joint. So I've been able to, come back here. Missed it so much, and just finished. Tonight's going to be the last night of 3 nights at Jazz Cafe, and just doing some promo to launch a new record.
Oh, excellent. Now, let me just break something down to you, Eric. You don't mind me calling you Eric, right?
No, I don't mind
All right,
at all,
listen.
man.
So now I've got quite a few generations of listeners that listen to my show. We've got the mature listeners and
Yeah.
the younger ones too.
Yeah.
So for those the younger ones, we're not too sure because one thing I like to do is not only just get the artists on, but I like to just get the younger ones kind of educated as to who we're actually talking to because they might not be too aware. Do you know what I mean? So could you let them just really understand who is Eric Benet and how long you've been in this game? Because you ain't a new cat. You're one of the legendary cats. So
Thank you,
could you
sir.
just let London know, especially for the younger generation, who you are, how long you've been in the game, where'd you come from?
Yeah, man. Well, we're going back. We're going back to my first solo record. Was signed to Warner Brothers in '95, and it was released in '96. It was a record called "True to Myself." But I don't really think things really started to catch on over here for me until my second record, which was "A Day in the Life." Released that in '98. That had like "Why You Follow Me." That had you good? Yeah. I had "Spend My Life with You" duet with Tamia. It had big big dance cut Georgie Porgy, a duet with the legendary Faith Evans, and so that was probably like my big jump off record, "A Day in the Life," and since then I've just been making music nonstop. And like I said in the intro, sometimes a record label wouldn't want to promote it internationally as much as I would have preferred or wanted. But I'm about to change all that.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
with the honey and lemon.
And as you can hear right here, the honey tea is coming. It's live as we speak.
Yeah,
From Alicia.
trying to get the Barry White out of my voice for tonight. Thank you.
Okay. So that was a quick little rundown, little summary of how you emerged onto the scene. How has things changed for Eric Benet as a solo artist since you've been in the game? How has the scene changed?
Well, the scene is so different now. I mean, it's an industry that it's difficult for artists to monetize their music now. People don't really buy records like they used to. It's single driven. It's like free downloads. It's like situations like Spotify or Pandora is pretty much raping the artist. We really people don't buy our music like they used to. I came up in an industry where the record label would be like, "Yo, let's go shoot a $300,000 video." They'd look at it when it was done. "Nah, we don't like this. Let's go shoot another one." That was, just like had this expendable amount of just money. And now these days, record label is like, yo, we got about 15 G's to try to shoot this music video. We better get it right the first time. So it's just a completely different industry. How you make money in this industry has changed. The amount of money you can make is, changed, unless you're like mega huge pop star. But you can still, do your thing, and you can still make a living. I think there's always going to be an audience for good quality music, and people still want to see people live if they connect with the music, and that's pretty much, for the most part, how artists make their music today is touring.
Do you feel like the digital age has cut out the artist development? Do you think that? Do you feel like
Well, yeah.
artists don't become as developed again?
Well, absolutely. I think that artist development and record labels now, it's almost non-existent. I mean, it's at the point now where the record label, not only do they not do artist development, but they pretty much want they pretty want you already to have a fan base before they sign you. They damn near want your album already done. They pretty much don't want to do as little as possible. They can't really afford to anymore. It's like a dinosaur. It's an old model, and I feel like we're on the it's a new frontier out there. But you got cats like me who come from that generation. They know about artist development, and they know about I've managed to consistently stay in the game and have like I was saying before, not so much overseas because my label wouldn't invest in it, but back home, with every album I put out, I've managed to have like either a number one or a top 5 song. So
Wow.
me having my own record label now and beginning to sign new artists, that's a huge benefit to the artist, because I'll make sure that with every artist that I sign, okay, when we come out with your first joint, I know we're gonna have like a top 5 song, So, I've been to that mountaintop a couple times. I know how to bring that out of you. That's one of the reasons why I'm so excited about Jordan House, and we're in the process of signing a couple artists right now, and just getting into the studio and making sure that I bring out the best of that artist, to make sure that radio is still very important.
So with the decline of record sales, people ain't really buying music no more. How has that really affected you as an artist? Because I know you were saying like people ain't buying no music, and you're kind of restricted because they want the product already before the companies buy into it. Do you feel to yourself, do you know what? This is too much work for me, man. I don't want to be doing this. Or do you like that creative control that you have now?
Well, I'm loving the creative control that I have now, and I mean, at the end of the day, man, I'm an artist. I never really started doing this for money anyway. I mean, I of course, obviously, I want to be able to support myself and support my family, and thank God I've been able to do that. But I mean, I don't really do music so that I can become rich. I never did that from the beginning. I did it because I am music, So it's like when I wake up in the morning, I hear melodies and arrangements in my head from the time I lay down. So it's like I almost have no choice in the matter. I'm going to be doing it whether I'm able to turn it into $1 or not. But I think that, like I said before, I think if you're creative and if you're smart, there's a way to still make a really solid living. It's not going to be so much from record sales anymore, but it's going to be from other things. Yeah. So.
Okay, as I said to you, if you've just logged onto the frequency right now, this is a pre-recorded interview with the Sir Honourable Mr. Eric Benet right here. We're just chilling out at the Hilton Hotel. He's drinking on some lemon tea and things is popping off this afternoon. All right, and we've got DJ Pavlos in the building as well. Yeah, holding it down. So, I mean, what state is R&B in at the moment? Because, I mean, it's fair to say, apart from, the artists like yourself, like the Donald Joneses, the Joes, the Dwelles, the Eric Benets, I don't really hear that soulful sound from the modern artists.
Yeah.
It's still kind of classified as grown folks music when you talk.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how are you feeling about the current state of R&B right now?
But it's got nowhere to go but up. I'll tell you that. It's got nowhere to go but up. I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, I think it's probably in a state of evolution right now, because so often when I listen to urban music and what they categorize as R&B hardly sounds like it.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Real
So,
talk.
but then there are artists who, one that comes to mind who had a great amount of success, kind of like mixing the old with the new. This is like an artist like Miguel.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like he had, he used he and his team used an old school approach to writing to come up with something that the younger generation could vibe and feel to. So I mean, I feel like R&B's not dead. It's just in a state of evolution, and then I think they're the purists like me or Maxwell or Anthony Hamilton. Like I'm gonna just keep doing my thing until I'm dead. Whether it's going to be in vogue or in style and people are going to be loving it or not. I mean, it's just in me. I'm going to keep doing it. It'll probably do a thing where, it goes out of style for a while, but, who knows, maybe 5 or 10 years, this purest form of R&B may be back on an upswing. But in the meantime, I think there are going to be more artists, like that Miguel, that kind of merge that old with that new and make it its own thing.
Do you ever wish sometimes that, I know you were saying like your stuff sells very well in America, and I'm not sure how it's based in Europe, but do you ever wish sometimes you'd like to see Eric Benet on a mainstream charts or nothing like that? Or you're comfortable with how your stuff is going, how your career is going?
Well, I think any artist would probably be lying if he said, I don't want to see my name all over the place and my music being blasted all over the place.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's definitely a benefit to not burning out so quickly like that way. I mean, I think when you have that type of huge success, it may be big and bold and all over the place, but that's very difficult to sustain. Overkill is occupational hazard. That goes along with success, like that kind of success too. So it's been really cool how my career has just been. I've been able to make a really good living and do what I love, but at the same time not so much overexpose myself. There's still this here. Yeah, if I had my way, my last couple albums would have been hugely promoted over here. But at the same time, that didn't happen. So now there's kind of this buzz and this anticipation for me now that I have my own label, so that I'll be able to really enjoy the benefit of the success of this album and my following albums, as the owner of the label, and then. So I mean, everything happens for a reason.
Definitely.
And I'm grateful for this journey.
Well, you
that I've
look
been
comfortable. You look happy.
Oh man,
You're chilled.
I'm so blessed, man.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like my wife and I gave birth to a new baby girl. She's 18 months old. My daughter
wow.
India.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you. My daughter India is 21, third year at University of Southern California, making daddy proud every day. We actually even did a song together on the album called Music Together, singing about our relationship. But I mean, man, I'm so blessed. I mean, life is good.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, so forwarding on, let's talk about your current album.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's the one you're here to promote. What can we expect from this album for those people who haven't heard it?
Well, going back to what we've been talking about this interview, I mean, I'm just bringing that classic Eric Benet, and I'm doing it in a way that has no restrictions of. Not that I felt like I didn't have creative control on Warner Brothers, but when you, I'll wait till that finishes. I think when you're an artist and that there's going to be a couple people on the top floor that have to approve this album before it comes out, that's kind of in the back of your mind while you're in the studio. It's like, I don't want to have to deal with no bullshit with them, so maybe I won't go way over here creatively, or but now that I have my own situation, man, it's like I can just go in the studio and do whatever I want to do and do it the way I want to. And I think people are gonna feel that kind of creative freedom on this record, and like really love this record, man.
Crazy. Now the thing is, you just mentioned something there that I really wanted to discuss with you. So what advice, kind of drifting off a bit, what advice would you give to somebody right now getting into the business that is definitely looking for that mainstream route where they want to get signed? It's it's so important. It's imperative that I get signed.
Yeah.
Is
Well, we live in a day and age now where maybe getting signed isn't the best thing.
There you go.
I mean, it's like a completely different industry, It's becoming ever increasingly affordable for somebody, to record a single or two, on their own. Well, the way technology is, you can do that in your bedroom and come up with something that sonically feels and sounds pretty good. And if you got the chops and the songwriting or the, lyrical ability or whatever it is that you do, you might just with one song be able to generate like some kind of crazy heat on many of the social network outlets, and generate your own.
You mean like
thing.
Gangnam Style?
I mean, shoot, it could be that, or like Macklemore. I mean, it's real, man.
Yeah, it's real. It is.
With YouTube and all this other stuff, I mean, you could very well put something out there and people will come to you. So, I mean, it may not be for you to be like signed to a major label. That's actually like I said, man, it's a dinosaur that's dying. So, as long as you just concentrate on your craft and you keep trying to just like hone your craft and make it as best as you possibly can, and keep growing and evolving creatively, and obviously everybody ain't gonna be successful there. But there's a couple people out there who are listening to this interview right now who are going to be the next, Macklemore, going to be the next Kanye West, and that's going to be your destiny. So just keep honing your craft and keep working on it.
Okay, wise words there. Inspirations, because I know you've got an eclectic taste in music.
Yeah, I do, man.
You have, innit? I know you got a broad spectrum of.
I do, man.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to everything, 70s had to offer, like Steely Dan, Beatles, and obviously like Stevie and Donny Hathaway and Rufus and James Brown and Shaka Khan. So I mean, my tastes are very like eclectic, and but I attribute my introduction to music primarily to my older sisters and my brother. I mean, I'm the youngest, and they just pretty much just before I was talking, they immersed me in music. I mean, all of my siblings play instruments and have perfect pitch, and I just grew up in this environment where that was just how we communicated with each other. So that's probably why music to me means love. I mean, we use music to communicate with each other. So my family is my primary influence, really.
Crazy, I like it. Do you know what? It's been crazy. I can't believe how 18 minutes has gone so quick, I definitely want to say massive shout out to Fad for hooking us up this afternoon. It's such a pleasure. Do you know what I mean? This guy's been holding me down for like over 20 years now,
That's my boy, thanks.
Yeah, when we was like, 10 years old. But we're doing our thing. Yeah, on the come up, you know what I mean? So, Eric, any last things you'd like to say this afternoon before I carry on drinking your tea?
I just want to say thank you, I mean, thank you to you for taking the time to talk to me. Thanks to everybody out there. The album, The One, is going to be out in September. Follow me on Twitter at eBenet, EBENET. Come to my website at ericbenet.net so you can keep up with me and get at me on whatever I'm working on or whatever I'm doing. Look out for those Jordan House artists next year. And life is good, man. Enjoy it.
Could you just give them that information again? Because sometimes, because it's Saturday morning, and they're listening right now, and sometimes people are a bit slow.
Cobwebs out their ears.
Yeah, and the matter in their eyes, and You know?
So my Twitter is at ebenet. That's EBENET. And my website is ericbenet.net. And you can pretty much like get all my stuff, my Facebook and my all that stuff, Instagram and all that from my website, ericbenet.net.
Crazy. What single should we go with from the album?
Why don't we rock News for You? That's my homage to Frankie Beverly and Maze and like
Bud.
Earth, Wind and Fire, man.
I'm definitely gonna get on some classics this morning as well.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Okay.